Welcome back. We're talking with Dr. Amy Vanderbilt about the state of math and science education in the U.S. Dr. Vanderbilt is a recognized trend expert and author of several early learning math books. Dr. Vanderbilt, we're seeing a lot of jobs outsourced overseas, and lately that includes higher paying technical jobs. Companies just can't get the technical talent that they need here, so they're going elsewhere. Dr. Vanderbilt, how bad is it? And what kind of effect is it having?
The state of math and science education in the United States has suffered a significant decline over several decades now, leaving us with a declining pool of technical talent. Many people think we're number one, but in fact, we're number 36 in the world. That means there are 35 other countries that do a better job of educating their children in math and science than we do here in the U.S., and it's been that way for almost 2 generations. The impact of that is so much more than who gets to claim number one. It's a contest, all right, but with our very economy and global standing at stake. As a result, fewer and fewer technically talented people enter the workforce each year. That forces companies to outsource those highly paid technical positions overseas. And that means other countries are the first ones to produce advances in technology, products, medicine, and more. Meanwhile, the U.S. is on track to become a third world nation by comparison. If we don't do a better job of math and science education, we won't have the technical talent, we won't have the technical advancements, we won't have the medicines, and we won't have the know-how, and 35 other countries will.
That's a fairly shocking conclusion, but you've got to admit that the evidence is overwhelmingly there. Now, you're known for recognizing trends like this and showing people what they can do to make a difference. So I know it's not all bad news here. What happened to cause this trend? And how can we turn it around?
I've been tracking this trend for quite a while. The good news is that we are not powerless to change it. But it's going to take a lot of people and organizations doing their part. The underlying problem is cultural. When you look at the 35 other countries that do better in this area, you see one major difference between them and us, and it's a cultural one. In those societies, it is unacceptable not to do well in math and science. In the U.S., kids come home and they say, well, I'm just not good at math. And the parents say, oh, okay, and they allow that to be an excuse. This is so pervasive in our culture that even some teachers are allowing that excuse. Can you imagine if your child came home and said, well, I'm just not good at PE? Would you allow that? I don't think so. It's going to take 2 things to fix this. First, parents and families should elevate the potential of every child by promoting a culture in the home where math and science is important. Even parents who didn't do well in math and science can say, I didn't do well in these subjects, but it is important to me that you do. Second, companies and organizations need to cultivate technical talent from the preschool and elementary level by introducing math and science early in a fun and enjoyable way. For example, Intel has programs tapping into their unique abilities to encourage innovation for teachers and students at the elementary school level. They're cultivating their future talent pool today. Overall, the best thing anyone can do is understand how this decline affects your organization and your family. Figure out what you can uniquely do to help turn it around. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but it will quite literally determine the global standing of your company and country in the decades to come.
It goes to show that every organization needs to be thinking about their future in the innovation economy and needs to take steps to ensure their own technical talent pool for the future. That was trend expert Dr. Amy Vanderbilt. We'll be right back after these words.